Morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to Studio Live. Today it's the happy hour. Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is a very special presentation in a very special episode of the happy hour. We're looking back in time, all the way to June of 2020. Yeah, 3 years ago. Can you believe it? 2020, it was the year of the big C word and the big P word, where everything happened, including the start of things like this happy hour, including the start of Your Music Live, my live music show, and including all of us being locked down. And music was there for us all, and a lot of us created music during that time. We created our own albums and EPs and singles, and I was no different to anyone else. I created an EP called Maybe. It was originally going to be called Mayhem, and then I decided, no, you know what? We're going to go positive here. We're going to call it Maybe. Because originally it was like, oh, the whole world is like mayhem at the moment, bro. And then I'm like, no, I think we'll call it Maybe. Because there was a lot of uncertainty at that time. So everyone was just like, maybe this will last a month. Maybe it'll last a year. Maybe it'll last 3 years and counting. Who knows? But I did want to say welcome to everyone who's here live before we jump into the show and I sing you some songs. G'day, Princess. G'day, Mark. Hello, Joe and Barry, Glenn. Our wonderful moderator, Mr. Thomas Christ. It's Bleeding Red Beats. Hello to you. And if you're here, say g'day. Keonra dropped in earlier there. There you go. G'day, bonjour, hello, farewell. No, not farewell. Hello. We'll kick into the music stuff in just a jiffy. But yeah, if you do want to support me and you want to support the work I do here on Studio Live today, you can donate. There's a donate button right there on YouTube, or if you're watching on another means, you can use the PayPal and you can throw a virtual buck in my virtual busking case. Although you might notice I'm guitar free here today. Yeah, we're experimenting. Yeah, we're doing it. We're going without a guitar and without a safety net. Just so this is going to be a live show. We're going to play the whole EP. So I'm going to sing you all 5 songs of the EP, Maybe. But we are going to, like any good gig, you've got to have an opening act, right? So my opening act today, hang on, I'll just grab them. Are you there? Yeah, are you ready to go? Oh yes, I am ready, Pete. My name is also Pete, but I'm I'm the front man of the band Righty, Dokey, and you may know us from our song 1.21, which is called Time, McFlies. You know, the one about the Back to the Future movie. Well, Pete has asked me along here today to open the show and sing this little ditty to get us started in 80s style. This is my band Righty, Dokey, and this is Time, McFlies. Back in 1985, late for class, but feeling fine, 'cause I have a rock and roll band. Got a call from my older friends, working on a way to bend the space. Time continuum, but it all went so wrong, and I had to escape. Press the gas as I hit 88. Time flies when you're having fun. Sometimes feels you're the only one who knows how heavy it feels. Time flies and you're out of here. One low pine and you disappear. You're done. 1.21. Need to find my mom and dad and get them to the fish under the sea dance before we all fade away. This is gonna be tough. The doc's plan is pretty rough, 'cause we needs a lightning bolt. But my girlfriend had written her number for me, and I now know my density. Time McFlies and it's time to run. Sometimes feels you're the only one who knows how heavy it feels. Time McFlies and you're out of here. One long pine and you disappear. You're done. 1.21. Parking cars with boys, flux capacitors. George is such a bore. I had to play guitar, might have gone too far, but your kids are gonna love it. Time McFlies and it's time to run. One more feels you're the only one who knows how heavy it feels. Time McFlies and you're out of here. One long pine and you disappear. You're done. 1.21. Thank you. I'll pass you back to Pete. Whoa, what about that? Special guests, Righty, Dokey, and who knew? His name also Pete. Ah, yeah, mystery. How mysterious. That was Time McFlies 1.21. That was a single I released. I created in Cubasis 3 on my iPad and released that one around about a year and a half ago. So a newer one there. Let's say g'day to some other folks. I only went to the little when I came back. Bono was on. Yes, Fat Panda Cat. It's Bono. And you know what? It's really hard to see through sunglasses because they start steaming up. G'day, John Swanson. that was heavy. I know, right? Great Scott. That was heavy. Thanks, Keonra. G'day, Mike Swell. Thank you for dropping on by. Appreciate you being here. Gortium85. Angela, I don't think I said g'day to you earlier. Hope you are doing well as well. Happy Ron. Yeah, Happy Ron's doing a show next week after YML next week. Let's talk, Ron. I'll dump folks over there to see Happy Ron live. That'll be cool. I haven't seen Happy Ron live in a long time. And hello to Mum and Dad. Thank you for being here as well. We're going to crack a beer and we're going to go the goat. And that may be a bit of an indication of who our next special guest is going to be on the show here today, because we've got a cavalcade of artists that'll be joining me. Actually, we've got one more, but they're going to come along and sing you a couple of songs. It is a cool band, and I think you're going to really enjoy them. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to, I think, Sven. Yes, Sven, are you there? Hello, I am Sven. I am from a Scandinavian country of non-specific origins because my accent is completely unimaginable. I am the lead singer of a band called Fear Cut, and we are going to play some songs for you here. This is the B-side of our single. You may know our single. This is a B-side of that single, and this is about people who are dicks. This is called What You Deserve. Put yourself ahead of me. It's just the way you'll always be. You can win, so others lose. Talk is easy, it's hard to choose. never had a heart of gold, so it don't matter just what you sold. You cause pain so others bleed. You cause pain while others bleed out. You better watch out for what you wish for, 'cause if you're not too careful, you just might get what you deserve. It's asinine just what you do. You blame the world for hurting you, but you don't see outside your door. It's easier to just ignore. You better watch out. You better get down on your knees and pray, 'cause if you're not too careful, one day you'll get what you deserve. Heartbreak, wet palm, all rage, no calm. White guilt, no way. Buy more, too late. Market crash, no cash. Big dash, no stash. Bankrupt, foreclosed. No friends, no hope. You better watch out, motherfucker, or you just might get what you deserve. Yeah, you better watch out, or you'll get what you deserve. Sorry for the swearing if the kiddies are there. And thank you to Joe and Barry Glenn for the $6.99 Canadian. I will use it to get accent training to make my accent sound like one actual country instead. I appreciate you. I drink the beer, and one day I was drinking the beer, and my daughter said, I said to her, what shall I write my next song about? And she said, why don't you write it about a goat? So I said, okay. And I wrote a song, and it is about the goats, and the fact that the goats have it easier than all of us. And it sounds like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, let's go! I find it hard to be okay with all the things that are happening in this world. And I find it harder day by day. All the news that is fake, all the walls that they make, and there's one thing that I am sure of. Goats have it easier than me. They don't have to work, they don't have to lift a finger. Goats have it easier than me. They don't have a care, and I wanna be as free as goats. I think that I might go insane, putting up with all of the things you say and do. And I need to find another way to survive in this land. I just might eat a can, and maybe then I can be at one with. Goats have it easier than me. They don't have to work, they don't have to lift a finger. Goats have it easier than me. They don't have a care, and I want to be as free as goats. Dads to the left, dads to the right. They might be penned up, but they're not pent up. They might be pent up with rage like me. One, two, three, four, don't have it easier than me. They don't have to work, they don't have to lift a finger. Goats have it easier than me. They don't have a care, and I want to be like goats have it easier than me. They don't have to worry about click-through rates, thumbnails, or whether people are going to come along to their live streams. In fact, I want to be like a goat. Don't worry, child. I can't do a goat noise either. I hand you back to Pete. Thank you very much. That was Sven from Fear Cut. And yeah, what an honour to have the great man and the great band here to support me for this, my maybe live show. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out, for being here today, for something a little bit different. If you, as we mentioned before, if you would like to help support this craziness and weirdness that goes on around here, you can do so. You can use the super chats like our friends Joe and Barry have done here. Thank you, Joe and Barry, Glenn. And you can also donate via the PayPal. I'll keep an eye out on that in case there's any PayPal donations, and I can say thank you for you for being here. All right, we need, after goats, we need to have a drink. I tried to be fancy and drink during the show. During that song didn't quite work, did it? So, welcome. that was the opening. I realised that I'm doing a 5-song EP, so we had a bit of time, and I thought we'd have a bit of fun with it, and we'd play some songs. We'd get some guest stars in here. From my other alter ego bands, of course, being Righty, Dokey and Fear Cut. Did a goatee on MTV. Oh, there you go. I love it. Good stuff indeed. So, as I mentioned, the EP Maybe, I created a lot of it right here on the channel. Many of you that were around back in 2020 would probably remember the process that we went through. We recorded a couple of new songs that went into this one, and a couple that I'd already released as singles. And the first song on the EP is actually one that I wrote towards the end of my corporate career. So for those that don't know, I used to be a corporate drone. I used to work for a corporate overlook. No, I used to have a job, a real 9-to-5 office day job. And I used to work in an organisation, and just before the pandemic, things were starting to look a bit shaky. And then the pandemic kind of just made things even worse. So during that time, I was doing this kind of full-time. I was doing that kind of full-time. And then everyone was freaking out and panicking about various lockdowns and things. And we were all working from home. And I don't know about you, but at that point in my life, I felt like I was being pulled left and right, and that there were competing priorities. You know, you want to be a good parent, or you want to be a good son, you want to be a good friend, you want to be a good work guy, and I also wanted to start a channel and grow my business here as well, which thankfully, thanks to you, I have been able to do. And now we get to hang out and do cool things like this every week. So this was a song I wrote about as a bit of I'm struggling, but I'm going to push through this, and we're going to get there in the end. And I wanted to thank Jade Starr for not only the drums on this one and a lot of the EP. And I know Jade, you're having a rough time the last couple of days. Love to you, mate. Jade did a great job of the drums of this one, and she actually suggested the name, because I wanted to call it something to do with the words in there, and then I'm just like, oh, and I think Jade said, well, what about just like No Apologies, which is basically a nice way of saying F you. So I like that it's called No Apologies. It's the first track on the EP, and I'm going to sing it for you now. Maybe I spread things a little too thin. Maybe I'm trying too hard just to win. But my intentions are always the best. Maybe I don't always do what I say. Maybe the deadlines are missed by a day. But I'm here to tell you I'm trying to learn. And I'm running as fast as I can. But the work, it never ends. And I try to make amends. But it's not always easy. Maybe I'm biting off more than I chew. Maybe I need to be honest with you. But I just don't want to show any weakness. Maybe I need to step back for a while. Maybe I don't need to go 1 more mile. So I can keep my promise to you. And I'm running as fast as I can. But the work, it never ends. And I try to make amends. But it's not always easy. And I try to do everything I say. But I've only got one day today. When you think I've got it made, it must be good to be this way. Look at what the people say. But the roses have their thorns. My biggest critic wears the horns. I think it's time to slow it down. The light and now it's time to make things right for you and you. It's all that I can do. That was no apologies, and I still don't apologise for it. And I don't apologise to Bleeding Red Beats, because why would I apologise for them giving me a donation? Thank you very much, yeah. This whole EP hits home with me still. Like, it is a time capsule. This is why I love music and why I love creating, recording, and releasing music. I know it's my cliche little phrase, create, record, release. But the reason that I love creating, recording, and releasing music is I wouldn't make this EP now. This is not a 2023 EP or album or songs. These are very 2019, 2020 songs because they were all of a part of my life and a part of time that we all kind of shared. So I think it's why this, probably more than any other release that I put out there, has resonated with more people, because we all had this shared experience, this very rare shared experience. Not since things like, world wars and things have we had quite such a shared experience right around the world. So yeah, thank you for the kind donation, and glad to hear it resonates. I'm clipping a little on the vocals, so I'm just going to trim that down a wee bit. I did my I did my sound check, and I'm like, the vocals are too loud. Then I sound checked again, I'm like, the vocals are too quiet. And then I'm like, it's close enough for folk music, as someone insultingly said to me. I'm going to have a quick goat, and we shall continue on. This next song on the EP came out of it was actually done as the song Timber Song from quite a bit previous, but it was one of those songs that was written as if it was being written for the pandemic, but wasn't. At the time, I wrote this for all the folks that I saw on the internet and in the real world and in my job and just everywhere. And the thing was, everyone was just really stressed out and worried, and especially in the communities that I was working in, creative communities, everyone just wanted everything yesterday, like overnight. They wanted everything right now, and they would spend all their time looking around, and the grass was greener over there, the grass was greener over there. How come that person gets to be successful and I can't? And this culture of competition just drove this really negative and really toxic culture. And I wanted to lash out again about that because life is long and you've got a lot of time. And resilience is actually like I've been doing this for nearly 8 years now, this YouTube thing. And if I gave up at every little hurdle, man, I would have given up 27 times by now. So, whatever you're doing in life, you got time. And sometimes you just need to hold on because it's going to be a long, long time. Life is long and you have much time. You're in a rush and you don't know why. You want it all and you want it now, but you doubt your talent and you don't know how. Look around at what others do. Think it's easy, so why not you? But success isn't overnight, so if you want to win, you're gonna have to fight. Hold on, hold on. Gonna be a long time. Hold on, 'cause it's gonna be a long, long time. Hey! There are times when you might give in, thinking there's just a way to win. Looking sideways at other folks, thinking you're the butt of everyone's jokes. But there's one lesson that I've learned: when you feel that you can't return, that is that you should persevere, because you won't get it done by living in fear. Hold on, hold on. It's gonna be a long time. Hold on, 'cause it's gonna be a long, long time. Oh, they say get rich, buy a car, a house, a diamond ring, but that won't really make you happy. So hold on, gonna be a long time. Hold on, 'cause it's gonna be a long, long time. Hold on, it's gonna be a long time. Hold on, 'cause it's gonna be a long, yes, it's gonna be a long, and it's gonna be a long, long time. It's true. It is. It's going to be a long, long time. And yeah, I implore you all to hold on. Oh, yes. Courage, resilience, courage, vulnerability. All of these things are not they're not weaknesses. They are strengths. It's weird. I've been rereading a lot of Simon Sinek. If you haven't caught Simon Sinek, he's a really good dude, good a thought leader, you'd call him. But he talks about this. He talks about vulnerability, and people, when they think of the word vulnerable, they think of weakness. They think of not being tough and not pushing through when things are going hard. Vulnerability is actually more about strength. It is about understanding and appreciating when things aren't working for you, and then reaching out to trusted people to get the help you need when you need it, and then getting back on that horse again. Again, it's resilience, isn't it? The greatest artists, in my opinion, are not the ones that have come out of nowhere and just had a song written for them and have a one hit wonder and then go away. There's an old adage that it took was it I think Billy Joel or someone like that said, yeah, it took me 2 decades to become an overnight success, but thanks for degrading the hard work I put in playing in clubs. And the song Piano Man was literally about him sitting at a piano with people trying to make a living and trying to get up and running. So yeah, there's ways and means, but yeah, do not fear. One of the best TV shows lately has been Ted Lasso. And I'm not, look, if you're not a Ted Lasso fan, and you think, no, it's a soccer show, I don't like it, or I don't have Apple TV, that's cool. But for those that have watched Ted Lasso, no spoilers here, but it has a very strong focus on two things. One is the cult of masculine toxicity. So like that masculine, yeah, bury your feelings, because it's about sport, and sport has that, and music sometimes has that to a certain degree. Definitely in like the rock and roll ways, man. Like yeah, Keith Richards never cried. He never said that he was having a bad day. He'd just go and take a bunch of drugs. But that's not the answer either. But yeah, and then it talked about mental health. And they're two things that I think we don't talk about enough. And if this particular EP had a bit of a theme, and the songs you've heard here today, it's the same sort of thing. It's about vulnerability, and it's about community, and it's about the fact that we're all in this together. Ben Lee said it once, we're all in this together. I know, me too, Mike. I couldn't get enough. Yet, when it ended, I was like, that's a good way to end it, even though I would have loved to have seen more. There you go. Yep, exactly. Michael said, been doing it since 64. Fall down, get back up, dust yourself off, and keep going. Because you'll get there. I promise you. Hello, Ethan Bybee. Thank you for being here. Yeah, let's talk about the cover of the EP. So, by the way, there's a link just there in the chat if you want to go and check it out, or you can just search it out. It's called Pete John's Maybe. At any of the places you can stream or buy music. So the cover was drawn by my daughter's friend. So Georgia, shout out to Georgia, she drew the cover. And the story behind that is we were at my daughter's birthday party now, 2020, so it must have been like her 10th birthday party, I'm thinking, or maybe even 9th, because it was well before the EP that I got. Yeah, so it must have been her 9th birthday party. I don't know. But yeah, we're at McDonald's, because, birthday parties, McDonald's, of course, Macca's here in Australia. And I had a napkin there, and Georgia's a really good drawer. And she's like, do you want me to draw a portrait of you? I'm like, sure. So McDonald's napkin draws a portrait of me and hands it over, and I'm like, that's actually really good. And I said to her at the time, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this as an album cover one day, Georgia. Mark my words. And then, yeah, like 6 months later, because, yeah, it would have been October of 2019. And 6 months later, it became the cover of my EP called Maybe. And, yeah, and I love it because it represents this EP perfectly, because I'm not perfect. Like, this song is about imperfections and embracing your imperfections. And yeah, I just love that she drew me, wonky eye and all. And that's the power of kids. If I went to an adult and they said, make do a caricature of me, do you think they would have done that? Would they have gone accurate? Would they have had the courage to do that? No, they probably would have said, look, I drew this and it looks like you have two eyes that look the same. And I'm like, no, I don't actually. All right, let's move on. We only got 3 more songs to play. It is going to be a quick happy hour. I know it's a happy hour, which is why I'm doing a bit of talking in between. It's like you're at a U2 concert. I'll be banging on about the environment before we know it. But the next song, I actually I did a little remix of this one because I've always liked this song. And whenever I listen to it, I'm like, oh man, that squeaky guitar finger noise that I have in this song kind of irritated me. So I stripped it back. Because I actually really like without being too self-flagellating, I really like the keyboard part that I wrote for this song. And it's actually on an electric piano, so it's like a Rhodes style part in there, yeah, I think it sounds good. So I've made this new version. So this is the first time that I've performed this new version. The song is about the fact that I like to sit on the fence. Not literally, but figuratively, I like to be a fence sitter, because I think sometimes people want you to get into one camp or another and be left or right, be black or white, and life don't work that way. Life lives in the grey areas and the cracks in between. So that's why I wrote this song. It's called Fence Sitter. have a lot of thoughts, but I may not express them all. I let the words come out every now and then. I think a lot of things that many others disagree with, but you won't even know unless you choose to ask. Sometimes it's easier to fly when you're just too tired to fight. I'm a fence sitter. Sometimes I like to keep my thoughts to myself. It's easier than facing up to the conflict. And I know that not everyone's this way, but it's how I get through the day. Fence sitter. I should pick a side and go all in with one direction, but I don't think that's right for me anyway. Sometimes I close my mind, think of other things that I should do, but I don't think that's right for me anyway. Sometimes I try to close my mind, but there's always another side. I'm a fence sitter. Sometimes I like to keep my thoughts to myself. It's easier than facing up to the conflict. And I know that not everyone's this way, but it's how I get through the day. Fence sitter. And I don't expect you to be the same, but I'm asking for you to refrain from making me feel ashamed. Sometimes it takes more courage to sit on the fence than it does to make a decision, because the problem that I foresee and that I see in the world is that too many people are just following and towing the line. They're not analysing, they're not thinking, they're not forming their own opinions based on things. They're simply looking at what team they're on and then aligning themselves with whatever's being said by that team. And yeah, that's going to be a challenge, especially for you poor folks in the US in the next 12 months, I tell you. Enough said. Not going to go into any more detail than that on that one. Alrighty, we have a couple of songs to go. Like I said, we're gonna be here for a short time and a good time tonight or today on this show. But I've got, like I say, I've got a few things to say, and we'll have a bit of a chat. If you're here and you haven't said hello, feel free to just say g'day, and I'll throw your name up here. Ethan has jumped on in. Hello to you. Thank you for being here. Vincent, exactly. I can't pick between GarageBand. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't pick between GarageBand and Logic. Oh, 3-2. Come on, Vegas, please. I said before the show, I said to my wife, "Oh, Vegas are up 3-0. Oh wait, 3-1, and there's one period to go." I'm like, I just want them to win this game because I'm going to miss the end of it. So I want them to just win, and then I'll watch the whole next game. But thanks for the update there, Mark. Appreciate you. Alrighty, let's grab our next tune, shall we? So the next song, the next song is my my lockdown song. So I think everyone pretty much wrote a lockdown song, or a lot of people wrote a lockdown song about the pandemic and about being locked down and about the fears and the uncertainty and the doubt, all the FUD that was going on at the time. And I was angry, and I found myself wanting to write a protest song. Yeah, yeah. How bad are our politicians? How bad are the people that aren't out there, getting vaccinated and stuff? And how terrible is this that people aren't social distancing? And then I went, breathe, be calm, relax, because the real thing about this whole situation is about people, and it's about caring for people. And I wanted to make something that was going to be still meaningful, but more of a soothing kind of tune, more of something that's a bit more introspective than just shouty, yelly at things. And the one thing I noticed is that things had changed, and I've written before about change. I wrote a song called Things Change, and I wrote this song called Things Have Changed. So it's like slight variation on that. But I think change is one of the biggest things that we fear. It's why everyone wants to, well, not everyone. It's why we get things like, back in my day, back in the olden days, make things great again. Like, we want to go back. And a lot of us, nostalgia is huge. Like, look, just see how many, like, I'm doing my 3rd anniversary of this album. Like, every band in my feed at the moment, because I'm an old man, is like, here's the 25th anniversary of this album. Here's the 30th anniversary of this album. So a lot of us love the nostalgia and love the going back. So I sort of wrote this one about change and the fact that at that point things have changed. This was a monumental change, and things weren't going back. People are just like, when things get back to normal, and then they're like, oh, that's not going to work. The new normal is going to be, it's like, how about we just get away from normal? Normal, natural, these things have no meaning anymore. Things are evolving. That's why it's called evolution, baby. All right, this is a song. It's I promise we'll end with something with a bit more punch, but this is another little ballad. This is called Things Have Changed. Things aren't the same. Everything's changed. Even the sun doesn't feel so bright today. When will it end? When can we leave? Right now I'd settle for a small reprieve. It's been a week, feels like a year. I'm doing okay, but you're not near. Are you okay? Do you feel fine? How are you finding things in this new design? Don't know how long it's gonna last, but like everything, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Things have changed, continue to change, and oh, here's a surprise for you, will continue to change. I know, who knew? Who would have thunk it that change is inevitable? When they did the whole, the only thing you can guarantee in life is, what is it, death and taxes? Change should have been right up there front and center, because everything changes. I'm going to, I didn't plan on doing this, but because we've got a little bit of extra time here, I'm going to see if I can find a couple of videos here, because I haven't looked at these in a really long time, and I don't think I'm going to find this one, because that song, like, a couple of people actually did, weirdly enough, did cover versions of that song. Here it is, in fact. This is this is the end result of it. I've only got I've only got the video here from Glenn Clark, but I'm going to play it because Glenn did a very cool thing here, which is global jamming. Things have changed around the world, and it was very cool at the time. I haven't watched this since 2020, so I thought I wouldn't even watch it. I'll just play it here again together because I woke up the next morning and a couple of my friends in the music community had done some stuff. They'd done some things with the song that you just heard there, and it was pretty overwhelming. So why don't we bring this up here and let's have a little look at this together. This is from Glenn Clark, wonderful musician out of New Zealand. So 2 days ago here on the channel, I shared a song called Things Have Changed, which was inspired by what we're all going through at the moment in the world. And I put it out there because I wanted it to be a bit of a positive message around the fact that this too shall pass. And I wanted to share that message with everyone out there in the Studio Live Today community. Well, a couple of folks jumped on that, and I am super chuffed and humbled by this. But my buddy Joey Helpish in the US created a version of this song where he played along on piano and sung some additional vocals, some harmony vocals, which sound super cool. I'm going to play you that version first, and then my buddy from New Zealand, Glenn Clark, he grabbed his guitar and he added some additional vocals. So this is my original song being jammed on by Joey in the US, and then a version with Glenn from New Zealand playing some guitar. So there'll be timestamps down in the description, but I'm going to play Joey's version first, and then I'm going to play Glenn's version. And this is just something that I think is super cool, not because it's my song, but because it shows that we've got three people in three different countries in a fairly unique situation, but we've got that global community that is still happening, that is still strong. And yes, respect to everyone out there. I know that there's some challenges right now, but hopefully this is a little glimmer that shows that, yeah, we are still all here. We are still stronger together. Keep safe, keep happy. This is my song called Things Have Changed, being jammed on around the world.
A buddy of mine, Pete Johns, over at Studio Live Today, he wrote a song about going through what everybody's going through right now in the world. And it really got to me. Made me cry, human tears and stuff. And I wanted to learn it, and I learned the song, and I wanted to play it with them. But I can't for two reasons. One, even if I wanted to, and I want to, get in a plane and hop to where he is, he's halfway around the world, and I can't. That's not a thing we can do right now. So I'm going to try to do the next best thing, just jam along to the very beautiful version of this song that he posted on his YouTube channel. And I'm just going to jam with him from afar on this beautiful song. So this is Things Have Changed by Pete Johns.
Things aren't the same, everything's changed. Even the sun doesn't feel so bright today. When will it end? When can we leave? Right now I'd settle for a small reprieve. It's been a week, feels like a year, doing okay, but you're not near. Are you okay? Do you feel fine? How are you finding things in this new design? Don't know how long it's gonna last, but like everything, this too shall pass. This too shall pass.
A short while ago, Pete Johns posted a video of one of his original songs called Things Have Changed. It's a fantastic song, and not long after it, my buddy Joey Helpish posted a video of himself jamming along to Pete's song, adding a wee bit of extra piano and some backing vocals. I love the concept so much that I decided to do the same thing and add a wee bit of guitar and some backing vocals as well. So this is me jamming along to Joey, who's jamming along to Pete.
So this is Things Have Changed by Pete Johns.
The same, everything's changed. Even the sun doesn't feel so bright today. When will it end? When can we leave? Right now I'd settle for a small reprieve. It's been a week, feels like a year. Doing okay, but you're not near. Are you okay? Do you feel fine? How are you finding things in this new design? Don't know how long it's gonna last, but like everything, this too shall pass. This too shall pass.
And thank you to Joey and to Glenn. It's been a while since I thought about this. And again, I guess I'm guilty of my own nostalgia on that stuff because, it was it was weird because I literally put that song out, went to bed, and then woke up the next day, and Joey had already worked on it overnight, and then Glenn, with the New Zealand time difference, had already got up and done that, and I'm like, oh wow, there's all these videos that people are posting of my own song. But yeah, I think that encapsulates what was happening in that time back in May 2020 when everything was different and going on. Alrighty, that leads us into the final track on the EP. And I wanted to tie a ribbon and a bow around the end of this EP with some absolute positivity. And you can probably see the sign there. It says, if you can't read it, it says, "Life does not have to be perfect to be wonderful." Now, that sign was hanging up in the local cafe. It was called Five Little Figs. It's no longer there, but it's gone, and then a new cafe has been put in its place, so it's still kind of there. But when the old cafe was leaving, I went to the then owner and said, that sign means a lot to me, and can I have it, please? Because if you don't ask in life, you won't get things. So I said, if you're not doing anything with that sign, I'd love to have it. It'll have pride of place in my studio, and it'll be there forever. And thankfully they said yes. So I got to keep it because throughout that lockdown and that pandemic time, the amount of times that we went to the local cafe to, not only because it was about the only place we could get, takeaway food and coffees and things to keep us sane during the lockdown times with our masks on and our hand sanitizer and our gloves and everything that was going on. But we also wanted to support the local business. And it really reinforced that whole, hey, this is a shit show, but we're all in this same shit show. So why don't we try and work together and make it a little bit less shit? So we're going to finish off with this song. This is about the fact that life simply does not have to be perfect to be wonderful. Life isn't always fair. Everyone has their problems. It's easy to hide away and harder to find solutions. But I know this for sure. This ain't a dress rehearsal. The doorway to either side. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful, they say. But sometimes it feels that way. You will not always win. Sometimes you lack direction, but you gotta stay the course, 'cause you're gonna face rejection, and you won't always know that there's a battle ahead. Sometimes the war is in your head. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. And I don't know what is left to say. Sometimes you hide away and look back on your mistakes, but you cannot turn back time and make everything seem fine. So remember, life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. 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 The end for now. Because that was the last sort of new EP and complete EP that I recorded, and I do want to say a few thank yous to I'll start with everyone, that way I don't forget anyone. So thank you to all of you. I know many of you were around the channel while I created that EP, while I was doing the recording and the songwriting and the mixing and the mastering. I want to say a big thank you to Jade Starr, who did the drums on 4 of the 5 tracks on the EP. I think you'd agree that, especially on that last one, the energy in that bridge and final chorus is just, it makes it explode with energy. The drums in there with the dun, 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 like the tom drum fills, and just everything in that just sounds amazing. And so big thank you to Jade. Thank you to Thomas Christ, our wonderful moderator. He was moderating the channel then, and he's moderating the channel now. So talk about resilience. Thomas obviously embodies what that EP is all about showing resilience, showing compassion, and not being afraid to do things and to be consistent with things, because Thomas is been a part of this channel for a long time. And thank you to everyone who comes along here, to Mark and to Mum and Dad and to Angela and Bleeding Red Beats and all the usual suspects, the Joe and Barry Glens of the world, everyone who comes here each and every week. I know I'm forgetting a whole bunch of people, so I apologize for that. But you know who you are. We have a lot of fun here every week on the Happy Hour, and we'll continue to do so in the coming months. Let's say our farewells and our goodbyes, and we might finish close to on time for a change. So long to Thomas Christ. See you later, Michael Thompson, Torema Bear, Mr. Mum and Dad. Mr. Mum and Dad. There you go. Very formal. Mike Swell, thanks for being here. Angela, Bleeding Red Beats. Ethan, thank you for dropping in. Who haven't I said? Barry Glenn's there. Happy Ron. John Swanson, thank you to you. Kionra Music over there in the West. Mike Swell, if I missed you before, thank you. Yeah, the organ's cool in that song, isn't it? I love a bit of organ, a bit of crowded house style 80s organ in there as well. So all that is left to say is that join me tomorrow, because if you thought this was a big extravaganza, tomorrow we've got a big 3-hour, 3-year anniversary show for Your Music Live. So that's going to be a heap of fun. I've got, I think, 56, 60 songs, like a lot of music to play, heaps of great original artists from a lot of people that you'll know and love from this community. So please join me for that one. But until then, we'll say something we've been saying for a very long time, and that is, please be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others and keep creating, and I'll see you next time. And I've got one more thing to say: Vegas for the win. Go Knights, go. All right, thanks Mark, thanks everybody. I'll see you next time here on Studio Live today.